Welcome to the Top 10 Anime Guide, a guide to become a cultured anime connoisseur in 2020 and beyond. This list is only compiled of shows that I have personally watched, and so great shows like Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood, and Mob Psycho 100 are not on the list. Many values were present in the selection, such as the availability of the show for streaming, with Netflix being the primary option, how recent or relevant it is, popularity among the anime community, ease of understanding, number of episodes, and most importantly, the actual quality of the show. My list is as subjective as I can reasonably make it. Of course, I have grown up with some of the shows, and it was tough to make calls between shows that I really loved with ones that are objectively better. Of course, there is some subjectivity since it's impossible to interpret art completely objectively. The point is to give you a well-rounded experience. There are lots of great shonen and psychological thrillers that could probably fill this list up, and this list is mostly that, but they are critical in the understanding of anime. I'm sure you are dying to start your journey of becoming a cultured anime expert, so let's begin. Hit 'em with the intro. Before we start, I want to say that these are not in strict order and cover a lot of genres. You can pick and choose what interests you. For me, this list shifts all the time, so by no means is it final. Let me know which ones interest you most in the comments, or comment what type of stuff you like, and I will make a recommendation for you. Make sure to watch the anime subbed and not dubbed. Subbed is where the translation is written on the bottom as a caption, and dubbed means that the characters have voice actors translating it in the language you are watching. In many cases, dubbing does not get the same message, effect, or emotion as the Japanese voice acting, which is the original. And with that short preface, we start with number 10, and number 10 goes to Bleach. Bleach is about a really normal guy in high school who wants to protect the people he cares about more than anything. One day, a fateful meeting grants him the power of becoming a soul reaper, which allows him to save the spirits still remaining on the world from hollows, which are monsters that eat spirits, and humans that can only be seen by those with special abilities. Bleach is a show about looking into yourself and finding the mental hurdles that limit you from reaching your potential. Accepting who you are as a person allows you to move beyond your mentally hindered self. Bleach has a multitude of characters which you are sure to find a favorite from, as well as have great villains that are well written and well developed. It is possible that they have the greatest villain ever in anime and deserves a place in the top 10 not just for its quality, but also for the fact that Bleach is returning in 2021 after almost a decade of waiting for the final arc to be animated. It is the shortest show out of the big three, and I highly recommend skipping the filler episodes. Filler episodes are episodes that are not actually part of the story, but were created in order to let the writer complete enough of the story for it to be animated. Bleach filler is not very good, so I will include a link in the description for you to see all the filler episodes and arcs so that you can easily skip them without affecting the real story at all if you want. Number 9 is Hunter x Hunter, a show that follows the development of two young teen boys with exceptional potential as hunters. Hunters are individuals who have passed the rigorous hunter's exam and thus proven their ability to complete tasks such as hunting dangerous animals or exploring unknown lands, all while being able to protect themselves from harm. Gon and Killua attempt to move up in this world and meet up with characters from a wide variety of walks of life, each with unique motivations and backstories. One of the biggest strengths of Hunter x Hunter is the amazing power system that allows for dynamic and complex fights that favor experience and intelligence over raw power, and is refreshing when compared to the big three of Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. The Chimera Ant arc is considered one of the best arcs of all time, and I can see why objectively it might be so it goes without saying that it deserves a spot on this list. An exciting rumor going around is that Hunter x Hunter may be coming back in 2021, but the author has been struggling with health issues that are exacerbated by the demanding fans who obviously think this is an amazing show, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. There are two versions of the show, the 1999 version and the 2011. Main differences between the two versions are in the animation style. The 99 version has more filler and a darker tone with more of a focus on character development, but it strays away from the original manga that the 2011 version follows more closely. You can take your pick, but I think the 2011 version is more accessible. Never forget that bungee gum has the properties of both rubber and gum. At number 8, we have a show that will forever have a special place in my heart, which is Naruto and, in virtue, Naruto Shippuden. I would say that Naruto is the most consistently strong part of the series, but Naruto Shippuden has what I think is my favorite arc in the anime, which is the Pain arc. I have probably rewatched it like 30 times completely from start to finish and hundreds of times of just the fights. I will definitely have a Nobody Understands Naruto and Naruto Shippuden video coming up, and it might be an hour or two long, but there is so many things that people don't mention because they are stuck on some hacks that are overused and leaned on at the end, so subscribe so you don't miss that. Naruto Shippuden has two of the greatest anime villains in shonen in my opinion, and the anime genuinely attempts to start a conversation about how to progress to a more peaceful world. Naruto is about an ostracized young boy with a hidden power that tries to make his way up in a world that wants to hold him down. Naruto lives in an unforgiving ninja world with fighting, strife, and pain. He desires to become the Hokage and be recognized by his village, and telling them that he is the one who can overcome any obstacle. Honestly, Naruto isn't something you can go wrong with if you love well choreographed anime fights as well as some ideological battles. Beware though, Naruto has tons of filler, and so don't get intimidated by the number of episodes that it has because it is significantly less. Like Bleach, I will include a link that shows all of the filler episodes. Some Naruto filler is actually pretty good, so pick and choose what you'd like to watch. 7th on this list is none other than the anime that made anime break out of obscurity, Attack on Titan. I still remember sitting in my class in high school and my teacher openly talking about how awesome this show is, and I, at that point, thought I was one of the 2 or 3 people in my grade that really watched anime, so I couldn't believe that a teacher was talking about anime in class. There is good reason that Attack on Titan was able to appeal to so many people with its stunning animation, soundtrack, availability on Netflix, and unique, well-developed story that never lets you feel comfortable with the information you have. It's a story about an enclosed city protected by walls to save people from the mindless, giant, human-eating monsters called Titans. Corruption, deceit, greed, propaganda, and societal control are just a small portion of the story that keeps evolving and getting better with time. As an ongoing anime, you will be part of pretty much every single person who watches anime if you watch this show, and it is for sure going to continue to get better. A new season is coming out soon, so I recommend watching this soon so you can understand the hype and nothing gets spoiled for you, since there are always big reveals that pretty much change everything that we know about the show. Parasite The Maxim has spot number 6, the most romantic anime on this list, with an enlightening perspective on the process of understanding another life completely distinct from your own. I watched this while still in high school, and I can honestly say that it changed my life. Unapologetically, it calls out the implicit human behaviors and ideologies that make our populations hypocrites and self-serving. Parasite The Maxim is also a show that seems to be less well known as far as reach or discussion, which is sad because the story is immersive, eye-opening, and can make you grow as a person. It is about a boy who becomes infected with a parasite or an alien life form that takes over his arm. This parasite does not actually complete its job successfully and is unable to take complete control of the host. However, it still tries to survive. As they fight their way through real parasites and hold off the hunger of the alien from eating other humans, it is a fight to survive for their life. Personally, I think there is a strength to this show because it genuinely makes viewers feel emotion so deeply and causes real introspection as the themes are delved into, should you want to think about them deeply. But even without that, it's just a good watch. There is a low-key connection drawn between the difficulty of understanding an attached separate life form and that of understanding someone else you are in a relationship with. A more current show sits at number 5. The Promise Neverland is a show that had an amazing first season and is highly anticipated for its return. It has immense potential with its amazing characters and world building. Predicting character motivations or actions is near impossible. Fear is genuinely felt by viewers in tandem with the characters. We are presented with what seems to be an ideal orphanage for intelligent, exceptional children with an affinity for critical thinking. This is quickly overturned as we realize this whole world that they live in is incomprehensibly horrendous. Their reality is shattered as the people who care for them seem to love them and make every move to make them feel happy and safe are the exact same people who will sell them out at a quick notice. Oh, and the ending to the first season, amazing. Watchers are given a very gradually expanding pinhole view of this world that slowly and purposefully expands to reveal a frightening world where the role of humans is opposite of what it is today, but an exact reflection of what we do with our current practices. I won't reveal what practices, but you'll probably figure it out. Once you make that connection between the characters in this world and their real life counterpart, it really hits hard. Fourth on this list is Haikyuu. Now, I am not a volleyball fanatic by any means, but this show has taken the world by storm because it doesn't matter whether you like volleyball or not. In fact, this show has single-handedly increased the participation of Japanese students in their school volleyball teams, showing that before watching, they held little interest in the sport. People love it because there are no special powers or extreme geniuses. There are people born with talent, but they work just as hard to prove themselves. Talent does not dictate that they are the best, and in fact, hard work is shown to equate talent in the show. Greatly powerful animation, suspense, soundtrack, and realism make Haikyuu a leader in sports anime, and it's still ongoing. The team won't always win. Players have to overcome real psychological and physical blocks. Get it? Blocks? Volleyball? No? Okay. Inspiring and realistic, Haikyuu is a must-watch sports anime even if volleyball doesn't excite you. An absolute classic sits at number 3 and it's code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion. Mecha anime is less prominent as a trope nowadays, but Code Geass is something that will be remembered by all for its unpredictable story writing, messages, and well, honestly, the amazing ending it had. Lelouch, a high school boy, obtains the power of Geass, allowing him to embark on his agenda of revenge, resulting in a journey in which his morals, maturity, and intellectual ability are constantly questioned. Lelouch starts out with just hatred and the inability to grasp the effect his power can have on the lives of those he cares about, making mistakes that cost them dearly. Humanity is represented in its true dismal state with its relentless cycle of hatred. I recently watched this show and, well, I think it may have inspired the narrative of another story on this list on how it would resolve the cycle of hate in its own way. Once again, Code Geass probably has the most iconic, greatest ending to an anime ever. Vinland Saga takes the number 2 spot after it had a stunning anime debut that was not nearly as hyped as it should have been, which is great. Finally getting an anime adaptation, Vinland Saga has the prologue completed wonderfully. A coming-of-age tale of a boy named Thorfinn, a Viking boy who fatefully left his village and then was unable to return, becoming a fodder for battles in which he is likely to die but miraculously survives each fight, getting stronger every time. Characters in Vinland Saga are complex and multifaceted with conflicting motivations and highly developed backstories that elevate the connection viewers have with the characters. An anime about the unforgiving nature of war, greed, and its effect on the innocent, Vinland Saga is an exceptional story, period. It follows the growth of a young man tormented by the world he is thrust into, unable to achieve his true goal, no matter how strong his desire. Finally, we have reached the one you are waiting for. First on the list is Death Note. Anybody who has seen Death Note knows why this anime is number 1 on my list for people new to anime to watch. I have shown this to my parents who really thought I was watching kids' cartoons, and they binged it to completion, embroiled in how great it was. I have shown it to friends who never considered watching anime, and they ate it up like it was an all-you-can-eat buffet. It is so good because you can't hate the villain. In fact, the villain is the protagonist of Death Note named Light, ironically, and finds a notebook that allows him to kill anyone if he can write their name in it. Genius plot twists and planning made Death Note a show that is universally loved, as it is not strongly linked to any specific society in terms of culture and can happen anywhere. If you had the power to change the world for the better through unethical actions, would you do it? This is the fundamental question of Death Note that traps viewers until they are forcefully faced with the reality that the story is over. We have completed the top 10 list for anime newbies to watch to become cultured connoisseurs. I want to just put in that there are some quick honorable mentions that I want to mention here. Some of them I haven't completely watched or only watched part of, such as Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or One Piece. Some others like Bitoom and Slam Dunk are shows that were really great, but they didn't actually finish them in the anime, even though they had great potential and great fan bases. Some others are Erased, Terror in Resonance, Kuroko no Basket, One Punch Man, My Hero Academia, Kaguya-sama Love is War. All were pretty close, but I think the 2 closest ones that came onto this list were Demon Slayer or Kimetsu no Yaiba or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. These shows are current and are ongoing. I really wanted to. I was kind of torn up at not putting them in, but I thought this list was more comprehensive of everything that is going on in the anime community and things people would consider classics or up-and-coming greats. With that, I want to thank you all for watching. Honestly, I love the fact that I was able to do this and give my opinion on something that I think is pretty important for people getting into the medium. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Feel free to comment any suggestions you have. Click the like button if you think this is a good list or you want others to see it, because I put a lot of work into this and I think that it could be useful for a lot of people. This is Random Anime Reviewer signing off. Zoop!